waxaan nahay wahdiga dugsiyada waxaan nahay waanada macalinka waxaan nahay wahdiga dugsiyada waxaan nahay waanada macalinka waagii baryaba awbax laga waraabsho waagii baryaba awbax laga waraabsho waxaan ku warwaraynaa wadankiina wax u barta wadankiina wax u barta oo xambaaro waajibkiisa wahsan mayno waaban mayno warwareegi mayno weecan mayno wahsan mayno waaban mayno warwareegi mayno weecan mayno.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبرنامجكii ka baro hawada eed kala socoteen TV-ga qaranka iyo radio Hargeysa iyo anigoo teacher Khadar Maxamed Faarax maanta insha Allah casharkeenu wuxuu ku saabsan insha Allah wuxuu yahay firstly we are going insha Allah to study subject wa English form 1 wana unit 9 page kuna waa 67 to 68 maxaa hayd cinwaankuna waxa weeyaan countable waa grammar weeyaan waa countable iyo uncountable nouns. So if we inshallah start I would like to kick off this lesson waxaan jecelahay inaan ku bilaabo lessonka countable and uncountable nouns. So this is a grammar. So what's a countable noun? Countable noun are individual objects sida people, place, which can be counted. Countable noun waxaa looga jeedaa wax kasta oo objectku waa shayga marka shaygaasi wuxuu noqon karaa nounkaasi wuxuu noqon karaa people buu noqon karaa bini aadan ama dad buu noqon karaa place buu noqon karaa meel buu noqon karaa waa wax la tirin karo weeyaan which can be counted such as sida boy, pen, car, town, supermarket. These examples are countable nouns because you can count them. You can count them. So a countable noun can be a singular and also can be plural. So as you see in these examples in your book, the first one or the first example, we live in a beautiful town. We live in a beautiful town. So town here is a noun. It has been preceded by beautiful. Beautiful is an adjective, as you know. So town here is countable noun. The second example, we live in a beautiful towns. So the first one was a singular, but the next one is plural. So town can be counted. It can be counted. So you can say town or you can say towns. Example number 3, there is a pen on the table. There is a pen on the table. Or you can say there are pens on the tables. So if there is a lot of tables in front of you, you can say there are pens on the tables. But if there is a single table, you can say there is a pen on the table. So these examples are showing you that countable noun is an object and also is an individual thing. It's something that you can count. So the next thing is a countable noun. It takes the singular form and also it can take the plural form as you see in this example. If I move to the next is uncountable nouns are materials. This is uncountable noun. So uncountable what do we mean by uncountable? Uncountable means something you cannot count it. So it's the opposite. The definition is the opposite of the previous one. So uncountable noun are materials, ideas, formation which are not individual. So maahin wax individual maahin, wax tirin karaysana maahin, ood count garin kartana maahin. So example waxa weeyaan beauty. Beauty you cannot say there is beauties. Es ma raacin kartid oo beauties ma oran kartid. Also new or sand or water. You cannot say waters. You cannot say waters. So these examples, beauty and new and sand, which is shown in your book, it's uncountable nouns. Because why it's uncountable? Because you cannot add s at the end of it. This means it can't take the plural form. So maxaan ka faa'iidaysanaynaa uncountable noun? qaacidadu waxa weeyaan, the rule is uncountable nouns cannot take the plural form. It always singular. So if we move or skip to the examples, the first one, the news was interesting. The news was interesting. So I can't say the news were interesting. I can't say also the water are in the tank. The water are in the tank. Why? Because news and water, both these words or these nouns are uncountable. So the note here, we can't use also the articles. So what are the articles? As you know, articles, it's like a and an and also the. We use a. This is for the countable, not uncountable. So this note here, we cannot use the articles a or an before the uncountables. But we can eeda iyo antaba waxaan ka horreysiinaynaa wixii countable ah ee la tirin karo. Wixii uncountable ah lagama horreysiin karo. Laakiin the sida muxuu ahaa example-ka muxuu ahaa boardka noogu jira ama sabuuradda. So we can use both for countable and uncountable. That one isticmaali karnaa, but a and an we cannot use before uncountable. So the example, if I give you an example here, I have sweet I have a sweet milk. You can't, milk here is uncountable because you cannot say milks. Milks, if you say milks, it's wrong. It's incorrect. So I have a sweet milk here. So milk here is uncountable, but so this is uncountable. So you cannot say, you cannot put s after milk because it's uncountable. Also, you cannot say I have a milk. You cannot also say I have a milk because it refers back. A'du had iyo jeer waxay tilmaamtaa just one. So a'da waxaan u isticmaalnaa always waxaan u isticmaalnaa countable. anta lafteedana an also waxaan u isticmaalnaa a'da iyo antaba waxaan u wada isticmaalnaa countable. Anta waxaan u isticmaalnaa if the noun or if the words starts with the vowels. Vowels haddii maxay ahayd ka horeyso, for example like a, e, I, o, u. If the word starts with these letters, then you can put an. For example, I have an hour to study. I have an hour to study. So if I say I have an hour to stay, I put an here because H is a silent, so O. I have O here. So O is a vowel. And we have said if the word starts with letters or vowels, these letters A, E, I, O, U, you have to put an before it. Another example of countable, I bought money I bought an egg or eggs last night. I bought an eggs last night. You have to put an here because eggs, it started with E, and E is one of these letters, and these letters called vowels in English. They call waxa lagu magacaabaa vowels. Marka nounku hadduu ku bilaabmo one of these letters, one of these vowels hadduu ku bilaabmo, you have to put an. An eggs. I have or I bought an eggs last night. Waxa kale hadduu ku muxuu ahaa letterka ama vowel hadduu ku bilaabmi waayana, you can just use a. Okay? For example, I bought a book. So you can say I bought a book or I bought an egg. So what's the difference between these examples? waa maxay different kan u dhaxeeya? Different waxa weeyaan an waxa loo isticmaalaa muxuu ahaa countable-ka, an iyo eedaba countable waa loo isticmaalaa, laakiin an waxa loo isticmaalaa hadduu letterku hadduu ku bilaabmo muxuu ahaa nounku hadduu ku bilaabmo xarfiga halkan e weeyaan, e buu ku bilaabmay, saa darteed waxaan u isticmaalaynaa an because the noun after the article started with E, and E is one of these letters or one of these letters, and these letters called vowels. So, but here I bought a book. B is consonant. English ka waxa lagu yiraahdaa consonant. Consonant kuna waxa weeyaan waxaanan vowels ahayn, waxaanan E, A, E, I, O, U, the rest xarfaha, for example B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, X, Y also it's Sometimes Y is a vowel. Sometimes it's, so this is an exception. These letters called consonant, but these letters called vowels. So you have to differentiate between, waa inaad kala saartaan vowelsku waa intaa meeshaan ku qoray A, E, I, O, U. The rest of the English letterska ama inta ka soo hadhay English letterska sida B, C, D, G, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, also X, Z. Intaa waxaa la yidhaahaa consonant. Marka consonant iyo vowels ayay u kala qaybsamaan. haddii aan usoo noqono casharkeennii countable iyo uncountablekii countableka waxaan nari ruleska waxa weeyaan inaad a ka horreysiisid haddii howletterku consonant yahay a baad ka horreysiinaysaa anna waxaad ka horreysiinaysaa hadduu nounku ku bilaabmo intaahan sheegnay a iyo e iyo I o u hadduu ku bilaabmo waxaad ka horreysiinaysaa an waxaan kaloo sheegnay ruleka muxuu ahaa countableku had iyo jeer ma qaato muxuu ahaa ilaa wuxuu qaadan karaa singular pluralna uu qaadan karaa laakiin muxuu ahaa uncountableku had iyo jeer wuxuu qaataa singular and this is the rule had iyo jeer wuxuu qaataa singular. Okay, if we go back to the book, this is the example. This is the example, and the news was interesting. The water is in the tank, and you have a note. You have a note. So I'm going to just go quickly to the next page. I think you have understood this. Internet fahanteen baan ayaan filayaa. Uncountable nounku haddii aan dib igu soo celiyo waxa weeyaan waa materials ama waa ideas. Example-kuna waa intaa maxay ahayd inagu qoran beauty, new, waxay kaloo noqon kartaa knowledge. Knowledge also is uncountable noun. Information also is uncountable noun. So these examples are referring to uncountable nouns. Okay, then let's move to the measurements or containers used with uncountable nouns. Imka maxay ahayd waxaan u wareegaynaa uncountable nounsku had iyo jeer wuxuu leeyahay measurement ama wax lagu qiyaaso ood ka horreysiin karto uncountable nouns. So for example, 2 bottles waxaad odhan kartaa 2 bottles of water. sidaan hore u sheegnay water waxa weeyaan uncountable laakiin haddii han idhaahno 2 bottles of water then bottles waxaad ka dhigi kartaa plural. sida kale 3 liters or petrol, 3 liters of petrol, 3 liters of petrol. Or taasi waa mistake. It's 3 liters of petrol. The next one, a slice of cheese or a jar of jam. kelmadahan ka horeeya uncountableku waxa weeyaan waa measurement waa qiyaasaha eed ku qaadan kartid muxuu ahaa uncountable. So furniture here is also uncountable noun. Information is uncountable noun. Luggage, news, trousers, garbage, bread, money, pasta. You cannot say pastas. It's pasta. So advice. These words or this list of nouns are uncountable. So these also the measurement or the containers or the phrases that you can use before the uncountable. For example, a piece of furniture. You can say a piece of furniture. A piece of information. A piece of information. A piece of luggage. A bag of suitcase. A news article. A pair of trousers. A piece of garbage. A loaf of bread. A note of coin. A plate of pasta. a piece of advice. You can also say a piece of advice. So if we go back, let's just look now to the board. So if I put here an example, let me just give you examples. So the word char, slice, piece, stick, carton, these words you have to use it before uncountable or bottle, letters, box, so you can say a jar, you can use it with jam, slice, you can also use it with vegetables like onion, slice of onions, piece of, slice of, jar of, piece of information, piece of cake, a stick of butter, stick of butter, carton of milk, bottle of, let's say, Pepsi, liters of, or liter of water, box of eggs, so these phrases or these words called container or measurement so these words, we use these words, for example, jar, slice, piece, stick, carton, bottle, liter, box, or there is also another one, bars of gold. kelmadahan xagana ku soo qoray xaga ku soo taxay waxa loo isticmaalaa ama lagu qiyaasaa uncountable noun-ka ayay tilmaamaan markaad isticmaashid jars waad odhan kartaa, slices waad odhan kartaa, plural waad ka dhigi kartaa, laakiin kelmadda lafteeda for example jam or onion, kelmadahana cake for example, these words ayaad ka hor isticmaali kartaa waayo before waxay noqonayaan uncountable buu noqonayaan. For example butter wuxuu noqonayaa uncountable, milk wuxuu noqonayaa uncountable, laakiin goormuu countable noqonayaa markaad isticmaashid kelmadahan ayuu noqon karaa maxay ahayd countable, ama markaad tiraahid I need a cup of milk or a cup of water, I need 1 liter of water or 2 liters of water, okay, I need 2 boxes baad odhan kartaa, 2 boxes of eggs. I need 2 boxes of eggs. haddaad isticmaashid intaa waxaad muxuu ahaa waxaad ka dhigi kartaa maxay ahaydeen countable baad ka dhigi kartaa isagoo ahaa uncountable. So these are the measurement of that we use before uncountable nouns. Let's move to our page. So these the measurements. So these are questions. Complete the sentences using these words. So the first one, you have a box, piece of advice, walk, loof, job, a pair of your suitcases, 2 loofs, luggage, bat, jar. So you can use, you have to put these words in the box or in this line or in this box. These words above, you have to just pick these words and fill it in the blank. So don't forget to buy a, you can say a loaf of bread for your grandfather. Can I give you? Can I give you? So you have to choose. Is it piece of advice? You can say, can I give you a piece of advice? Can I give you a piece of advice? Where are your suitcases? Where are your suitcases? Number 4, I need a pair of trouser, for example, a pair of trouser. Or you can say I need a pair of trousers. Number 5, I want 3 and the rest of jam for my children. I need 3 jars of jam for my children. Number 6, sorry I'm late, but I had a lot of work to do. He wants to get a better blank and earn more money. So what should we put here? He wants to get a better what? A better work. It could be work. He wants to get a better and earn more money. Okay. Number 7 or number 8, we had bad weather when we last went to Spain. Number 9, could you go and get me a loaf of bread from the bakery, please? Could you go and get me a loaf of bread from the bakery, please? So these are the exercises. You have to just be careful. Markaad kelmadaha dooranaysid inaad muxuuha ka fiirsato. So if I repeat quickly, piece of advice and the words that we have mentioned waxaa loo isticmaalaa before uncountable. So these also the rest of the words. So could you pass me a jar of jam? How many pieces of, so you have to choose from here. How many pieces of advice have you got? Okay, now we just go to the pronunciation. K iyo J. So K, it's pronounced like, let's just move to the board. K, it's pronounced like K. So it's voiceless, but G is voiced because you can touch your throat and you can pronounce, you can practice that. So K is voiceless and J is voiced. So if we go to the examples, you have kick, cockroach, fake, black, and the other is give, nag, regain, hugging. So you can practice these words. As I mentioned, the rule is K is voiceless, but G is voiced. Okay, let's move to the next practice. Practice saying these sentences. The great green globe is glowing. So here is a repetition of words. You can practice it. So let's just move. Practice saying these similar words. So back, pack, and pack, pack, pack. There is a similar sound. Pick and pick. There is also a similar sound. Cut, gut. So both words end with at. So there is a similar also sound. Cut, gut. Snack, snag. Also a similar sound at the end of the word. Rack, rag. Also similar sound. So here you have an example. So I can pronounce both words. So you have the first one, there is a plug, plug. So both words are similar. So I'm going to pronounce the second one, log. So which one? Is it the first or the second? You have to tick. Log. If I say log, then it's the first. But if I say log, then it's the second. And so forth. The last one is a dialogue. You can practice this dialogue. This dialogue is very simple. It's between a teacher and a student. And if I read this dialogue quickly, the teacher said, what have we learned today? The students is going to answer, whenever we should always pray. What happens if you don't? You want to teach, you wouldn't teach Jannah. Sorry, you won't. What about Ramadan? We abstain from food, starting from dawn. So when can we eat? At dusk. So this is the dialogue. You can read this dialogue alone. And thank you. I wish you understand this lesson. And please try and do your best. وإحنا جرجنين محوها دلالكين إن شاء الله. Do your best and try to review this lesson because this lesson is very important. And أدبرن محاهدين نقوم هاد علينا يا. Thank you.
waxaan nahay wahdiga dugsiyada waxaan nahay wanada macalinka waxaan nahay wahdiga dugsiyada waxaan nahay wanada macalinka waagii baryaba awbax laga waraabsho waagii baryaba awbax laga waraabsho waxaan ku warwaraynaa wadankiina wax u barta oo xambaaro waajibkiisa wahsan mayno waaban mayno warwareegi mayno